Mary Louise Kelly with NPR. I wanted to follow up. John mentioned a little bit the thwarted attacks that we've apparently seen announced in Germany this morning. The apparent targets were hard targets, the Frankfurt Airport and Ramstein Air Force Base, and I'm curious what significance you may attach to that, as opposed to, say, train stations or softer targets.
Airports are, think of it as an aviation target, and aviation has been a favorite target of terrorists for a long time. I think there's something of a fad or a fashion factor here, or a copycat. People are inspired by these sorts of things.
In choice of targets, it often is and may well be the case in this instance, of the terrorists having to weigh operational feasibility versus the symbolic or other attractiveness of the target. In this instance, if those reports are correct, I would surmise that they recognized it would be a tougher job, but if they managed to pull it off, it would be kind of a twofer, hitting something that the United States has a stake in if it's a base that we use, also hitting the whole idea of, in this case, German cooperation with the U.S. military, one more way of trying to strike a blow against Allied cooperation, to demonstrate to the Germans that they have a price to pay for cooperating with the U.S. and the U.S. military. These are all the sorts of very attractive symbolic messages that could be sent if they could pull off anything at a place like Ramstein.
And also that the 3 people who've been detained appear to be 2 Germans and 1 Turk, which would speak to more of a homegrown threat, which y'all have addressed a little bit, but as opposed to this threat that we hear a lot about North Africans coming up, or terrorists being exported out of Iraq and moving into Europe.
Converts play a significant role in European terrorist networks, so that's an ongoing factor. I think it's cliche, but it's nonetheless true that converts can take a much harder line on their adopted religion than people who are born into it, perhaps in part because they're eager to prove their new bona fides, or because their conversion took place in a radicalized context.
If it turns out that these 2 of the 3 in Germany were ethnic Germans, this will be something that we've seen before in Richard Reed and Jose Padillo, in recruitment efforts by Al-Qaeda of Bosnians who don't look as if they're from the Middle East, maybe even blonde-haired, blue-eyed Circassians, etc. There's going to be a lot of effort by the terrorist groups to recruit people who don't look as if they are Arabs or are from the Middle East. We're going to see more and more of this, and it's potentially an effective technique for them in more than one way.